Hello to all my uniques out there. This is your girl Akudo. Welcome to your unique wisdom. For this week, I'm going to talk about a quote that one of my uniques sent to me. And the quote reads like this: "You cannot treat people like garbage and worship God at the same time." One of my uniques sent this quote to me. I don't know who wrote this quote, but he sent it to me and saying I should please do a video on this quote. And I want to tell you guys too, any of my unique out there, you have a favorite quote or you have a unique word you want me to talk on or you want me to explain more on, remember to write me uniqueakudo@gmail.com. Send it across to me and I'm going to try as much as possible to do a video on that. So let us jump right into it. The quote says, "You cannot treat people like garbage and worship God at the same time." The problem or the mistake we make is that we think that people are different and God is different. But you should understand that if you cannot treat people, human beings that you see, if you can't treat them nicely, how are you going to treat God who you can't see? I want you to take a minute, sit down and think about it. If you cannot be kind to family members, you cannot be kind to yourself, you cannot be kind to colleagues at work, you cannot be kind to your brothers and sisters in your church, you cannot be kind to brothers and sisters in your community, in your society, who told you that you're going to be kind to God? Who told you that you're going to be nice to God when you can't even appreciate the people that God have put into your life? You cannot treat people like garbage. When that quote says you cannot treat people like garbage, that doesn't mean that you're treating people like they are trash. But when you treat people, you backbite, you don't believe in people's vision, you are not cheering them on, you don't have anything nice to say about human beings, you call them names that are not the names their parents gave to them, you never believe in them, you never see anything good in others, you never see the positive side of other human beings, you treat them like they are nobody, you treat them like everybody is beneath you, you treat them like, oh, they don't count, you count. My sister, how can you do that, my brother? How can you do that and at the same time worship God? Those two have to go together. The way you treat people is your act of service to God and to humanity. So if you're going to do your act of service only serving God, but all the people around you, you don't consider them, you don't value them, you don't accept people around you, how can you do the two? That's being a hypocrite, because you can't be worshiping God and then the human beings and the people around you that God created, you not treat them like they are trash. How do you treat yourself? Let's start with that. Remember, you can't give what you don't have. If you can't treat yourself nicely, you are not kind to yourself, you don't forgive yourself, you speak so harshly about yourself, you judge yourself so harshly, you don't believe in yourself, my sister, my brother, how can you give it to somebody else? You don't have it. If I don't have money, I can't give out money. If I have money, then I can share, I can give. If I have clothes, then I can give. If I have a roof over my head, then I can say, come on, sister, come and manage with me, come and stay with me. You can't give what you don't have. So if you can't treat yourself with kindness and you're not nice to yourself, you're never going to give it to somebody else because you just don't have it. So the first thing is you have to treat yourself nicely. Be kind to yourself. If you remember, in every video I do, I always end it with be kind to yourself and to each other. I always say yourself first. Be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself. You are not perfect. You are a human being. You make mistakes. And when you make the mistakes, get yourself up, dust yourself up, and move on. That's not the end of the world. Your mistake is not the end of the world. Learn to forgive yourself. You're not going to get it right all the time. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall. You're going to stumble. You're going to not be at top all the time. Sometimes your back will be against the wall. It's okay, my uniques. Get up and move on. Love yourself through it. Encourage yourself through it. Talk to yourself through it. There is a strategy we call self-talk. This is when you talk to yourself and encourage yourself. I know I can do this. Akudo, believe in yourself. You can do better than this. You know better than this. I think I'll try again. Encourage yourself. Be your greatest cheerleader. Believe in yourself. Honk your horn. When you're driving down the street and you see a car or a human being or a dog or whatever, you have to honk your... Nobody's going to honk your horn for you. You're going to do it yourself. You have to believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Be loyal to yourself. Forgive yourself. Accept yourself. Tolerate yourself. Celebrate yourself and move on. Then when we have gotten that over with, now we are in a good place. We are good. We know who we are. We have forgiven ourselves. We can give love and we can receive love. Then the next thing is, how do you treat the people in your family? I'm coming to the family right now. My uniques. Let's start with the head of the household. Daddy, husband, how do you treat your family members? You are such a wonderful man outside. Everybody loves you. But once you come back to your home, you become a terror. Your wife is hiding from you. Your children are all going to their rooms. Nobody wants to come close to you, daddy. Husband, that's not the way to treat your family. You can't treat your family like garbage. Let's go to the mom. Mommy, are you a sweet woman outside? Everybody loves your smile. Everybody loves how sweet and kind and nice you are. But once you get home, you become a terror to your husband and your children. Your husband has no peace. From the time you get inside the house, you nag until the time you go to sleep. You hold him tight. You want to fight all the time. You don't believe in him. You talk down to him. You look down at him. You treat him like he's garbage. My sister, that's not what the Bible says. And then let's go to the children. How do you treat your children? Because you gave birth to them doesn't give you right to treat them like garbage. Do you listen to them? That's one thing we don't do. Do we listen to our children? Sometimes, although they are young, they have their own opinions. They have their own views. They have their own perspective. They have their own ways of looking at things. You might not agree with it, but are you going to be a listening ear to those ideas, to those suggestions, to whatever they have to contribute? Everybody is bringing something to the table. Daddy is bringing something to the table. Husband is bringing something to the table. Mommy and wife is bringing something to the table. And I promise you guys, the children are also bringing something to the table. It's a family. Everybody counts. How do we treat each other in our families? Some of us, we don't want to come home. Some of our men don't want to come home. They have fun outside. They go to parties. They stay at parties from 11 at night till 4 a.m. in the morning. They do everything outside. But once they open that door, everything about their countenance change. They are not happy anymore. They are sad. They don't want to be there. But they are there because their children are there. My sister, that is not the way to go. And then on the other hand, there are some women, they are happy. They are at parties. They are dancing. They are having fun. But once they open their door and come in, everything about them changes. They are sad. They are depressed because they don't want to be there. They know it's going to be one fight after the other. They know there's going to be a quarrel. They know there's going to be an argument. There is no peace. My sister, my brother, and the children, you guys know that the family is supposed to be your safe haven. When you deal with the traffic on the road, you deal with the hustle and bustle out there, you deal with everything that life throws your way, at your job, on the road, with your colleagues, with your friends, in your business, at your place of work, and then after all the stress, you come back home and you come back to your sanctuary. You come back to your sanctuary, your safe haven, your abode, where you come and you see your wife and you see your children and you see your husband and everything is A-okay. How do we treat each other in the family? This video, the unique guy that sent me this, thank you very much for sending me this. Because we have to start thinking, this is 2020. We cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. It doesn't work that way, my uniques. You can't keep repeating the same thing, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. It does not work that way. If it's not working, then we have to do something differently. 2020, we are going to treat our family members like we treasure them. We're going to treat our family members like they are treasures, like they are precious. They are awesome. They are wonderful. We love them. They matter. They count. We have to show them. Remember what I always tell you guys. When you come to a family, men are loved. Women are shown they are loved. And children are told they are loved. And children need to feel they are loved. No, I said it the other way. Let me say it the other way. Men are told they are loved. Women are shown they are loved. Why children must feel that they are loved. You don't need to show them. You only show women that you love them through your actions, not what you say. Through your actions, you show your wife that she is loved. And men, you have to tell your husband that he is loved. He is the king of the castle. He is the leader of the group. He is the shepherd. He is the leader. He leads and you guys follow. A man needs to be told. A man needs to hear it that he is loved. A woman needs to see that she is loved by your action. And then children don't need to see. They don't need to hear. They need to feel that they are loved. That is how we treat our family. Now let's go to the next one. How do you treat your friends? We've talked about how you treat yourself. We have talked about how you treat your family. Now the next thing is, how do we treat friends? Do you treat your friends like they're garbage? You laugh in front of them, hey girl, and then when they turn around, you're mad. And then when they turn around, they drop their character. You now discuss them. You don't believe in their dreams. You talk bad about their dreams. There is nothing you like about their husband. There is nothing you like about her children. You don't like her job. You don't like her car. But when she was there, you loved everything about her. My uniques, 2020 is not the year that we're going to be hypocrites. 2020 is the year we're going to say and do exactly what we say. If you like it, then show you like it. If you don't like it, nicely say, I don't like it, and this is the reason why I don't. Let us stop all this pretending around people, and we treat people like they are garbage, like they don't matter, and at the same time, we are worshiping God. At the same time, we are worshiping God. That's what the quote says. How do you treat your friends? Believe in your friends. See the good in others. Don't always see the negative in others. Don't always see what is wrong. Oh, I don't like the way she talks. I don't like the way she walks. They don't like what you do either. But they are not telling you that, are they? You think everything about you is perfect? No, my darling. Everything about you is not perfect. There are certain things they are accepting from you. There are certain things they are tolerating from you. There are certain things they don't like. But because they say they love you, they try to accept you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Why is it so hard for you to do the same? You have a certain way you want your friends to be. You have a certain things you want them to do. You have certain rules you want them to follow. Are you following those rules yourself? You want them to do this and support you. Are you supporting them too, my uniques? You want them to be loyal to you. Are you loyal, my sister? Are you loyal, my brother? You want them to cheer you on. Are you cheering them on too, my sister, my brother? It's not all about you. Treat people with class. Treat people with dignity. Treat people with integrity. And let people treat you the same. Remember, what you give is what you get back. You can never attract what you attack. If you want them to be loyal, you want them to be caring, you want them to care about you, you want them to cheer you on, do the same thing to them. Because if that's what you're looking for, then that's what you're going to attract towards you. But when you are attacking those things about them, I don't like her, she's not loyal, I don't like her, she don't do this, that. At the end of the day, guess what, my unique? Is the same thing you're going to attract. You can never attract what you attack. It's only when you support it, encourage it in your friends, treat them like they are human beings, treat them like they are God's children, because you are also God's child. Treat them the way you want to be treated. And once you do that, my sister, once you do that, my brother, then you are on a right path. And then let us talk about the church. How do you treat people in your church? Because you're spiritually up here, and that sister and that brother is spiritually down here. So you have to look down at them, because now you are judging. Now you are condemning, because you think you can quote every verse of the Bible. So the sister that can't quote any verse of the Bible might not be reading her Bible. She's not a serious Christian. She must be a baby Christian. My sister, that doesn't take you to heaven. It's not by what you say. It's by your works. What are you doing? You can't treat people like garbage in church and at the same time you are worshiping God. It doesn't work that way. You can't get people and stand there and talk about people and make fun of people and say all kinds of stuff, and then you think you are still worshiping God at the same time. My sister, my brother, we have to be very careful how we treat people in church, especially people that God has given in your care. I'm talking to pastors now. You are the shepherd of the church. You are the leaders of the church. Mind how you treat people that God has put in your care. You don't sit and talk about your church members. You don't judge them. You don't condemn them. You don't look down at them. You don't preach about them. You don't make them the topic of your discussion. You don't do anything you want to do because you think, oh, I'm worshiping God, so I have the right to do whatever. My sister, my brother, watch it. You can't treat people like garbage, like the quote says. You can't treat people like garbage and at the same time worship God. Let us be very mindful how we treat people that God has given in our care. When that sister passed, because you don't like that sister, you're talking about her. You're talking about how she dressed. You're talking about how she looks. You're talking about everything that you have no business talking about. You are judging her, you're judging her husband, you're judging her children, you're judging her colleagues, you're judging whoever, and yet we are in the house of God, worshiping God, my uniques. Let us be careful how we treat people that God has put in our lives. We form cliques in churches. If you are not in that clique, there is nothing that happens to you that they are interested in. You must be in that clique. We form cliques. We are so busy trying to show our spirituality. Ooh, I'm more spiritual. Oh, ooh, I'm more spiritual. My sister, nobody cares. My brother, nobody cares. It's between you and your God. If you're a spiritual giant, it is glory be to God, is between you and your God. If you're a spiritual elephant, is between you and your God. If you're a spiritual ant, is between you and your God. If you're a spiritual cat, is between you and your God. Whatever level you are in God is between you and your God. You don't have to show us off. You don't have to show it off. You don't have to be arrogant about it. You don't have to make everybody around you feel like they have not even come close to the throne of grace. Like if the rapture takes place now, you are going and all of them are going to hell. No, my sister. No, my brother. You are not God. You are human. You are not God. You are not God. Jesus is going to come back again, but you are not that Jesus. You are not coming back nowhere. We are waiting for Jesus to come. No, you are not Jesus. Jesus is not there that made you Jesus. You are not Jesus. Let us be careful how we treat ourselves. I've talked about how you treat yourself. I've talked about how you treat your family. I've talked about how you treat your friends. I've talked about how you treat people in your church. I'm going to talk about how you treat people at work. Mind how you treat people. Don't treat people like garbage at the same time worshiping God. At your work, you don't do no teamwork. You don't want to help nobody out because you want to shine. You want to be the one doing all the work so that your boss can see you. You see a colleague struggling. You see a colleague trying to find an answer to a problem. You see a colleague trying to find a solution and you know the answer. You know the solution, but oh, no, no, no. You're not going to help her until she fails at it, and then you step in and do the work so everybody sees you. My sister, that is treating somebody like garbage at the same time worshiping God. What do? You go to work, you go to work, you claim you are working, but you're not doing anything. You're just moving your papers around. You look busy, but you're not doing anything. Who do you think you're deceiving, my sister? God is looking at you. You can't treat people like garbage and worship God at the same time. You go to work, what you're supposed to do at work, you don't do it. And you know you're not working. You know you're shortchanging your boss. You know you're not doing what you're supposed to do. At the same time, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. You're treating your boss like garbage. And at the same time, you're worshiping God. Remember, my uniques, you're looking for a business. You're looking for somebody to work for you. Our goal is to start a business, to be self-sufficient, to have our own self-business. If you're treating your boss or people you work for like garbage, remember, it will get to your turn too, and you're going to own a business. People will be working for you. Do you want your workers to treat you exactly the way you treated your boss? I hope no. I hope the answer is no. So let us be careful. And finally, the last one is, how do you treat people in your community and your society? We live in a community, we live in a society. How do you treat them? Do you turn your nose up at them? Do you look down at them? Do you treat them like you're not part of this place, like you're heavenly, you live in heaven, you're just looking down on earth? Guys, let us be careful. Remember, the quote says, you cannot treat people like garbage and at the same time worship God. Let us be careful how we treat people. Let us be loyal. Let us encourage each other. Let us motivate each other. Let us love and accept people for who they are. Let us stop the judgment. Let us stop the condemnation. Let us stop the backbiting. Let us stop the looking down at people, the being arrogant and thinking everything revolves around you. Let us be Christ-like. Let us love people. God, Jesus Christ said, the greatest commandment I give you is that you love who? Love one another. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Let us mind how we treat our family. Family is everything. If you're going to be sweet and nice and kind and a leader outside, bring it back into your home. Be loving to your wife. Be loving to your husband. Be loving to your children. Remember, a man needs to be told he's loved. A woman needs to be shown she's loved. And our children need to feel that they are loved. Be honest, dedicated and humble at your work. Come to church. Love your church members. Don't judge nobody. You come to your friends. Be loyal to your friends. Don't backbite. Don't gossip behind them. Cheer them on. Believe in their dreams. Be there for them. Support them. Guys, this saying, you cannot treat people like garbage and at the same time worship God. Let us treat people with kindness and at the same time worship God, because God is love. Let us treat people with love and at the same time worship God, because God is love. God is kind. God is loving and caring. And if we're going to be Christ-like, we should also be like Christ. Remember, you are beautifully and wonderfully made by God. That is why you're unique. And please, please, like I always tell you guys, give us a thumbs up, share this video, subscribe to the channel. I need you to subscribe for this channel to go. And finally, my uniques, be kind to yourselves and to each other. Bye-bye.